Good morning, Internet. This is the old fat dad. Welcome back to the Goober Nation gun range. We are walking along here, coming up on the 50-yard line, and we're not going to be shooting that far today. Today we're going to be blasting clay with a 300 Blackout. Let me take it to the table and show you what you got. And here's our setup for today. I've got the Palmetto State pistol with an 8.5-inch barrel. And we've got 4 different kinds of 300 Blackout ammo. 300 Blackout really is one of the more flexible rounds. It kind of reminds me of the 22 LR in a lot of ways because there's a wide range from subsonic to supersonic ammo that do all sorts of neat stuff. So I wanted to really demonstrate that by shooting some clay with some very different bullets. So first up, here are my cheapish rounds. I've got 220 grain subsonic loads. Got a 120 grain VMAX. Let's see if we can focus on that. It's got a little polymer tip. And then I've got the expensive stuff. We've got a controlled chaos and something else chaotic. You can tell from the stickers there, but one of them is supersonic, lightweight, 115 grains, and the other one's like 194 grains and it's going subsonic. So let's set up the target, and we'll do the cheap stuff first, and then we'll move on to the expensive stuff, and we'll see if there's any difference between the two and what do you actually get for your money. Let's get started. Alrighty, first shot is with these 220 grain subsonic loads. Whoa, let me get them in there. There we go. And we got our target down there. It's the clay. And it's got a Diet Mountain Dew bottle behind it because who likes Diet Mountain Dew? And finally we've got our old beat up 3A vest, hopefully to catch anything that goes through all that. Let's find out what happens. This thing, it blew up a lot more than I was expecting. Let's go check it out and see what we got. Okay, here's the carnage from the 220 grain subsonic load. Got a nice little hole in there. Looks like it's starting to go sideways, maybe already. That's pretty crazy. I wonder if that bullet's unstable. Wow, big hole out the back. Definitely took a wicked turn through there. So I couldn't find that bullet, but check out that cavity it left through the clay. It took a wicked curve through there, was tumbling like crazy. And then it really hit this bottle hard, and it was definitely going sideways, if you can see that impact right there. So neat results from the 220 grain bullet. Let's move on to the VMAX. Well, I said I was going to do the VMAX, but you know what? I thought about, let's do the other subsonic round first. This is the Lehigh Defense Bullet Underwood ammo loaded maximum expansion 194 grain subsonic load. And I'm curious to see what the difference is. So we saw tumbling out of the 220, a good bit of damage. This one's supposed to open up real big. Let's find out what happens. Wow, okay. Definitely hit hard. Let's check it out. Here is the 194 grain Lehigh Underwood fancy ammo. It's a good bit smaller of a opening through here. That's interesting. There's a piece of the Mountain Dew plastic somehow on the front side of this. That is nuts. Okay, well, let's see what happened. And wow, that bottle got ripped in half there. Nice hole through the back, not as big as the tumbling 220. But let's see if I can find that bullet in this oh, wait, there it is. Look at that thing. Definitely does what it advertises. It's expanded beautifully. Really neat results. Alright, taking a look in that clay, we can see the damage the Lehigh bullet did, and it's much more of a straight line than that 220 grain bullet, but it definitely chewed up the inside of that clay really good. And here is the bottle. That's where it went in, and it's a star-shaped hole there. And on the back, kind of hard to see, but there is another kind of a star-shaped hole going through the back. So it looks like that bullet definitely did what it was advertised to do. Okay, we got the slow stuff done. Let's move on to the hot stuff. Here's our VMAX. I think this is a Hornady Black 120 grain round. Whew, let's see what happens on our clay. Okay, I think I see the bullet sitting right down in front of the clay, and I don't think we even blew up the Mountain Dew. This is very interesting. Let's go take a look. Well, just walking up right here, I can already see there's our bullet, and it looks pretty nasty. It expanded, kind of blew up entirely actually. And here is the entry. Yeah, it's massive in there. It really opened up very wide, and I can see fragments of bullet, and I can also see that it didn't go all the way through. It looks like it just bumped the back side. There it is right there. That's the, look at that. It just bumped the back side of the clay, probably bumped up against the bottle, and didn't even go through our block. So that is definitely a varmint round. I mean, explosiveness up front, does a lot of damage, but does not penetrate very deep at all. Definitely chewed up the block though. You can see it kind of put some cracks on the outside. Huh, neat. Let's move on to the expensive boutique stuff. All right, it's time to get fancy with some 115 grain controlled chaos. This is gonna be supersonic. I've got no idea how it's gonna do. The VMAX just kind of went into the clay and bounced out. Let's see if this penetrates more, does more damage. Oh man. Well, there's your answer. It definitely does more damage. Let's go check it out. Well, I thought that VMAX bullet was pretty impressive, especially compared to the subsonic loads with the amount of damage it did to the clay. But here is that controlled chaos, and really just an unassuming little hole there in the front. You wouldn't think it did a whole lot of damage unless you saw that high speed, because out the back, wow, what a difference. That is huge. I don't see any fragments inside this hole. So let's check out the bottle. Oh man, that poor thing got beat up. I think, yeah, here's where it went in, and I think there's multiple entrances there. You can see on the bottom one, and where it's all tore out, that's probably another. I think a little fragment went through the side there, maybe out here as well. So it was definitely doing what it was designed to do. Let's see if we can recover any of those bullets here in this vest. And I can see already, there is, oh, get it out of the Mountain Dew. There's one fragment right there. Let me see if I can recover the rest of them. Okay, here's what I pulled out of that vest, and nothing actually penetrated the vest out of any of these bullets. These are just kind of sitting on the top of it, but here is the base right here. And then we got 1, 2, 3 petals, and I bet you there's a 4th petal hiding somewhere in the grass. But still, perfect expansion, or I don't know what you call it, fragmentation. The bullet did exactly what it's supposed to do, and it did some pretty epic damage through our clay. Here are the recovered bullets on the bottom. Subsonic ammo, supersonic ammo on the top. Found that 220 grainer. Look at that wicked little curve it made. That's pretty neat, I think, and that's why it did so much damage to that bottle going out the back side. That thing was flying sideways and hitting that pop bottle pretty hard. And then we have the boutique fancy subsonic, also performed as advertised. It did a good bit of damage. Up here, the varmint round, and there was a ton of fragments in that clay that I didn't dig out. And finally, our 115 grain controlled chaos fancy stuff. Also performed as advertised, penetrated really well, blew up everything it hit. Pretty neat stuff to see in action. And it kind of answers the biggest question I had going into this. Do you get what you pay for when you buy this fancy stuff? And make no mistake about it, these rounds are way more expensive than these guys. And I really hate to see when an ammo company charges tons of money and makes all these promises and doesn't deliver. But in this case, I think we got exactly what we paid for. And speaking of paying, I'm going to put my email address, which is also my PayPal account, down here. And if you have any spare change lying around you wouldn't mind throwing towards the cause, I'd really appreciate it. Ammo gets kind of expensive, and I gotta try and justify it to my wife. I really don't like the idea of subscription plans though. So if you have some spare cash, I'd love a little bit of support. If not, please just enjoy the videos, like and subscribe, maybe leave a comment, and we'll see you next time.